Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Welcome everyone to another Diehard football podcast here on a Monday. I am Christy Bacon here with Coach D. How you doing today?
Oh, pretty good. We got most of the first weekend out of the way.
Yeah, we do.
Started with a great game on Thursday.
Yeah, what do you think of the Cowboys Buccaneers game?
I was really impressed with Dak. I thought the Cowboys fought hard. They were in it. I didn't expect this kind of game. I wasn't really expecting the Cowboys to win. I was kind of hoping they would keep it close, and boy, they did keep it close. They outplayed Tampa.
Yeah.
Of course, they gave Brady back the ball with 1 minute and 20-some seconds left, and you can never, ever do that. Okay, but It was a great game. A lot of great plays on both sides. Dak impressed the heck out of me. I thought they were going to kind of gently ease him into it, not have a very explosive type game plan, but he came out throwing first pass to Coop, gets it down there, and they're off, great game. As far as the Cowboys, I'm really impressed with the way their defense looked. I'm glad to see it. A lot of hustle, a lot of heart. They made good plays. Of course, they didn't get the Brady, but nobody does. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. All their young guys played well. It's just a thing. I was just mostly impressed with Zach. He really stood up. That's what a superstar does. A lot of the Cowboy haters going to say he didn't win. Okay, just keep talking about the Cowboys. I love it when the Cowboy haters talk about the Cowboys because they're not talking about their team, evidently. Brady was Brady. He's great. He's GOAT. He 379 yards and 4 TDs, had 2 picks and everything. Dak was 403 yards. He had the best passing day in the NFL. 3 touchdowns, 1 INT. The rushing game for neither team worked at all. And I think both teams just kind of fell off if they had a rushing attack planned, they just fell off it. Zeke looked like Zeke of last year. He can get you 3 yards, but he's not going to make anybody miss him. So then again, it was against Tampa Bay,
Right.
And, each team ran only 14 times. So that tells you that neither team got any kind of running game going. Fournette had 9 carries, 32 yards. But, man, the Dallas receivers, Cooper, unbelievable. 12 receptions, 139 yards. I'm sorry, 13 receptions. CD Lamb is going to be a monster.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Gallup went out halfway through. He had a few catches. He's got a little calf injury, so he's going to be out a few weeks. That'll just give probably Noah Brown a chance to step in, and I like that guy. He's been on the Cowboys a few years. He seems to, when he gets his chance, to make the most of it. So,
I like Noah Brown, and Gallup's good too. Gallup's going to be out for at least, I want to say 3 weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
Depending on how it is.
The other bad bit of news for the Cowboys is La'el Collins didn't show up for a drug test, so that means he's suspended.
5 games.
And they're arguing about that. They are appealing it because evidently he's been tested over the last couple of years like 160 times and passed them all. So I don't know if they're being nitpicky. Should they give him a break? Who knows? I just always think these guys are millionaires. They know they're going to get tested sometimes. Why do they even mess with drugs? Sometimes it's performance enhancing and they think they can get away with it. Other times it's the marijuana and other kind of drugs. As far as like marijuana, I think the NFL should kind of take a stance like the NBA does, just kind of not make a big deal of it.
Yeah.
I've heard from too many football players that say it relieves the pain. These guys are all in pain every week. No matter where you play, you're in a car crash several to 60, 70 times a game. Okay, your body aches. If it can take some pain away and it helps you, that's fine. Just don't over abuse it. And I've heard too many guys say it helps. And there's a lot of NFL players, good guys, Hall of Famers, that say it should be legalized. And heck, it's legal in a lot of states now. So let's just leave that lie right now. But they're going to have to deal with Malik Collins without him for 5 games unless something comes of his appeal. He missed a test. He didn't fail a test. Evidently, if you miss a test, the punishment is less severe than if you fail a test. So if he knew he had something and purposely missed it, but he's been tested 160 times over the last 2 years, what's he doing? Did he have a mess up? And his lawyer friend said, just missed a test. It'll be 5 games instead of a year,
Right.
Or is he just, did he just honestly miss it because he gets tested so long? Maybe he had his schedule screwed up. Haven't heard any of the details yet, but I know they're appealing it. So let's see what happens on that front. Okay.
And then now you have Gregory, who's now on COVID protocol.
Yeah, that's COVID. That's different.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, it all matters in a way,
Yeah.
He was okay last week.
They get in a situation where they're out and about, and then all of a sudden they come in contact with somebody. They still have to be very careful. It's not like you and I. We can be in contact with somebody. Chances are they don't get COVID, but they still have to be very, very careful. They can't really go out and go to the bar and things like that. They have to be careful, okay? And they should realize that. Hopefully Gregory doesn't miss any time. He played really well.
He did.
So he was hustling all over the field. He picked up that one fumble that, gave us a shot. And, so we'll see. Really good game,
It was a good game.
That's all I was hoping for as a Cowboys fan. I wanted to see them play a good game. I wanted to see difference in the defense. I saw that. They were playing the world champs, and Tampa is better than the Cowboys. Okay, Cowboy haters, Tampa is better. All right. Cowboys they're not going to go 17-0. I'm just tired of hearing it all the time. I should get used to it, though, because Cowboy haters are bigger fans of the Cowboys than the Cowboy fans are.
There you go. Yeah. What did you think of the kicking for Dallas?
Hopefully, it's got to remember, Zerline didn't kick at all in the preseason. He had back surgery. Okay, and everybody's jumping at it. But you know what? That last one, he nailed it right down the middle. He hooked one. And he missed the extra point. Okay, nobody's 100%. Let's see. Let's just everybody hold the horses for now. We'll see this week. Kickers do fall off a cliff. When they're done, they're done. They don't gradually get better. Usually when they shank one in a game, 10 yards to the left, that's an indication. But he hadn't kicked in all preseason, any of the games or anything, evidently. So let's tamp it down a little bit,
Right.
People are going to jump all over that. That's why they lost the game. Well, you could name 10 plays as to why they lost the game. Missing a couple field goals, yes. Okay, so he makes one of the field goals. So Brady would have had to go down and score a touchdown to win the game. Do you think he wasn't going to? It would have taken 2 more plays. That's it.
Yeah.
So it's Brady.
That is true.
So let's get off of that.
Is there any games that surprised you?
Huh?
Is there any games that surprised you, like score-wise?
Well, the first one up here that I see, Philadelphia, Atlanta, that was kind of a shock. Jalen Hurts played kind of well. He 264 yards. Atlanta played awful, and Philadelphia beat him up pretty good, 32-6. That I would have. Atlanta's not going to be good. They'll probably be around 500. Maybe 9 wins. But they lost to Julio Jones, but they still have some good players, and you still got Matty Ice at quarterback. Philadelphia is a good defensive team. Question mark at quarterback. Could have some guys at running back. They're always got these good little guys. They do have Devonta Smith, the rookie at wide receiver. He scored a touchdown. So the score is what surprised. I'm not surprised they beat Atlanta. I'm just surprised at the score. I would have expected a closer game.
What about Arizona and Tennessee? That one was 32-6 as well.
Yeah, I know. That's Arizona. Man, Kyler Murray, he was super good. My boy DeAndre Hopkins, 83 yards, touchdown. Kyler Murray. Arizona has a good defense, okay? But Tennessee is one of the NFC North or AFC North favorites, or NFC North, whatever. And, so that was a pretty good beating there.
It was.
It's maybe Coach Bro in Arizona, maybe Arizona's for real. Maybe in the NFC West, man, that could be a dogfight there. I think the 49ers are going to be good. The Chargers, that's going to be a good division, and so, let's see there. That's a good. Arizona's good. Since Coach Bro got there, since he got Kyler Murray, you wouldn't think it, but Kyler Murray's definitely a top 10 quarterback in this league. Okay, he's definitely top 10. Higher than that probably, but he's a player. He's good. Their defense is good. They got a good offense. They're going to be a good team.
It will be. It's a team you probably have to watch out for. Coming down the road. What was that?
Yeah, easy, definitely.
Let's see. What about yesterday's Chicago Chargers game? That's Dallas's next opponent is the Chargers.
Yeah.
Or the Chargers faced Washington. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right. And they're good. Justin Hebert, he's good. Washington has let's not forget Washington. They have a very good defense. So that's probably a good deal. Hebert threw for 337 yards. They ran the ball pretty good, but the score it was a 1-score game. Washington has a very good defense. Nobody forget that. Okay, their offense, what the heck? It's not going to be easy for them. If they, that game, the next time around, it could flip the score. Well, they're not going to play again, of course, but that was, it was there for them. But the Chargers looked pretty good, I think. So we got them this week. So
Yeah, we do.
we'll see what goes on there. It's going to be right away. It's going to be another good test for us. I think the Cowboys should win, but we'll see as the week goes on. See what happens with the Malik Collins deal. So Mike McCarthy isn't worried. He says, we do have depth at right tackle. I'm thinking they'll put Zach Martin out there and keep Connor McGovern in at guard. So when Zach played out there last year, he was very, very good. So I don't think there's an issue there. Hopefully all the Cowboy offensive linemen stay healthy.
Right.
So,
and I know Washington is now without a quarterback per se. I mean, they do have a proven backup, but Fitzpatrick's out with a hip injury.
Well, yeah, that'll be bad for them. But, they'll be what they are. They're going to win 7 or 8 games, I think. They don't suck. They got a good defense. So they may mess things up for our Cowboys there in the NFC East.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't give the haters any fuel.
and the Eagles are the Eagles are the only team in the NFC East to get a victory this week.
Yeah,
Giants lost against the Broncos. Yeah. I mean,
Giants are going to win 5 or 6 games this year unless Daniel Jones really matures. Next week they'll get Saquon Barkley back full time, so that should improve their offense a little bit. But Denver's got a good team. They're good. Their offense is good. They just lack a good quarterback. And Teddy Bridgewater did a great job, so maybe he's, got to a place where he can feel comfortable and know he's got the job and not have to be looking over his shoulder,
Now, do you think after this year, or maybe sooner, Rodgers will be a Packer? I mean, not a Packer, a Bronco.
No, he's with the Packers for the next couple of years. I don't know what his contract is.
I think it's a 1-year contract.
Yeah, that's all BS behind him. He's got a team, and next year he'll have a team that will contend for a Super Bowl. Yesterday's game notwithstanding, they just stubbed their toe coming out of the gate. They are very good. They're not a 3-point team.
He didn't look like he was in it, though. I mean, from what I saw.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Could have been the flying to Jacksonville.
I heard he's not really good in Florida.
Yeah, and that Coach Payton, that was one on the Twitter and everything. They were saying, he could have played here in Dallas. He picked Jacksonville because it's grass, it's warm, it's hot. He knows Rodgers' career in that stuff. He even went so far as studied Packers fans who usually travel pretty well. There was no direct flights to Jacksonville. They had to take connecting flights. How?
Wow.
You're a Packers fan, and you know that the Saints coach is messing with you.
Yeah,
that was so great. He studied that angle. I thought that was great, and whatever, it worked. Jameis, okay, he was very efficient. Didn't throw for a lot of yards, but he was real accurate. 5 touchdowns. Okay, well, maybe. I mean, he's shown that before, and let's see where he goes, I thought New Orleans was going to take a step back, losing Breeze, and I was hoping Taysom Hill would be the quarterback and Jameis up, but they went with Jameis. He did very, very well. And so maybe that's the plan. They have good players. They got Michael Thomas is out for a few weeks, but The backups there are almost as good. They still got Alvin Kamara. They got a great defense, good offensive line. This is just they just stumbled coming out of the gate. That's my take.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's only one game. We'll just see what happens. But I mean, it's an interesting 2021 season so far. So much so that Cincinnati won their opener against the Vikings in overtime.
Yeah, I saw
Were
that.
you surprised that Cincinnati pulled it off, or
Um, more not surprised because it's the Vikings. The Vikings like to do this kind of thing. Kirk Cousins had a great game, 300 plus yards, but Cincinnati does have Joe Burrow, and before he got hurt last year, he was doing very well. So, and they're a young team. The Vikings, I know their fans are all pissed off and everything, and it went to overtime, and so let's say Minnesota came out on top. Good for them. Don Zimmer for Minnesota. I think he's a great coach. And I was talking to a Vikings fan yesterday, and he said Minnesota, since he's become coach, has been playoffs every other year. Well, this is the other year. A lot of Vikings fans hate Cousins. I think he's a really good quarterback. I don't know why it hasn't worked in Minnesota, but he's had good games there. Maybe this is the year it works. We saw him in Washington for a number of years be really, really good. So maybe it's more, they got Cook at running back. They got Jefferson at receiver. They've got a good offense. I think their defense is, at least average. They should have stuff going on,
right?
This is one of them games they're going to look back probably and say, we should have won that game. But maybe Cincinnati's better than we think. A good quarterback makes a huge difference, so maybe Cincinnati isn't a 4-win team. Maybe they're a 7 or 8-win team, something like that.
You think they'll make the playoffs, or
Minnesota?
no, Cincinnati?
Oh, no chance.
No.
And
yeah, I think Minnesota can. I don't think Cincinnati can. Won't make the playoffs.
Yeah, they're not.
In Houston, the Texans beat the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence's first game, and Lawrence's first loss in a long time. I think going back to high school, he was like undefeated.
It's actually the first non-playoff type game that he has ever lost.
Right, yeah.
I think he, and which is very Kyler Murray-ish, because Kyler never lost in high school nor college, except in the playoffs, never lost in high school. He won 4 state championships, and then in college,
right,
he only lost in the playoffs. So, and he played good, 2 for over 300 yards, so Jacksonville is bad, but they've only got one way to go. They're going to have high draft picks next year. Hopefully Lawrence doesn't get killed and they keep him upright, and, they'll start looking for Jacksonville fans should start looking for the young stars, the draft picks, the young guys that are starting to have maybe a good game here and there. Look for those little flashes. That's what I always say on a young team that is going up. Just look for the flashes. You're not going to win now, but look for the future. Look at what players all of a sudden give you a couple of really good games. You say, okay, he's good, and then, look at the good going up, as you're a fan of your team. Don't just complain about how bad they are. That doesn't do anybody any good. Enjoy the game. Look at the good. Just like Ranger fans should be looking right now in baseball.
Right, yeah. But sometimes that's hard to do, for fans here in Texas. And
it's easy to complain. It's hard to be positive when your team's down. So people just complain. I've always looked at the good guys, that the talent that is there. They may not bring you over the top, but it's fun to watch them while they're playing. You know,
Right.
Shoot,
And New England was facing Miami, and it was a battle of Alabama quarterbacks. It was a close matchup. Miami won it. What do you think of that one?
I like the way Mac Jones came out. You know, they probably should have won the game, you know, but it was a close game. And I'm sure their games for New England anyway, they're all going to be close because Belichick's going to keep Mac Jones in check a little bit till he figures it out more. But he looked very good, you know, composed and everything, just like he did with Alabama, and you know, very accurate. And you grow off of that, you know. Start finding out who his favorite receivers are, how his tight ends react and when they need them, and third down. Patriots do have a pretty good defense, and Belichick is a very good coach. So I'm sure he's going to play most of these games, at least in the first half of the season, close to the vest. You know, it's a game they could win easily. You know, Miami's got good young players too. They're probably kind of equal in talent, actually, both those teams. So the game played out, I think, like it should have.
Right. So you think they will make the playoffs, Patriots, or?
It'd have to be the wild card if they can get up there. I think the wild card's coming from the other two divisions. Buffalo, even though they lost, they're going to win that division. You know, and the wild card will come from the other two AFC divisions. I don't know. Miami could sneak into the wild card too. New England, they're both, you know, if they can get to 10 wins, they should be in, you know, one of them. You know, you got the Jets, who are not going to be any good, and you know, so Boston, New England, Miami, and the Jets. So that's not a bad division. It's probably more, you know, it's a better than average. You got two teams that are going to play 500 around there, and then Buffalo should win 11, 12, 13. You know, I don't know what happened with them yesterday. They just didn't click.
Right. Yeah. The team that did click were the Kansas City Chiefs. They were down double digits again, but rallied back 33-29. That was a good game too.
Yeah. Kansas City doing what they do, and Cleveland. You know, people are saying they're the team that's going to win their division. So I heard today on the radio they should start thinking about locking Baker Mayfield up a few more years, you know, before he gets to free agency. Might not. He's a very good quarterback, and the more he learns to play within himself, the better he'll be. You know, if he turns into a kind of an Alex Smith plus type player, because Baker can run and throw. Early in Alex Smith's career, he could run, and that was one of his attributes. But, you know, Baker is a better passer a little bit.
Yeah.
And he's got to get the smarts about him. You know, stop thinking you're in college and you're just better than everybody. Start being a good pro. And I think he's figuring it out, because he had a lot of smart games last year. He wasn't trying to heave an 80-yard pass, you know, to try to hope for a goal. He would work the ball around, and it's a slow learning process. You know, he might be one of these guys that needs a few years, and he has gotten better every year he's been in the league. So, you know, that's a good one. Kansas City, They're going to win 12 plus games. They got quarterback 1A or 1B in the league, if you want to go by that, and they've got that prolific offense. Their defense is pretty good. Their questions are their offensive line. They supposedly had looked at that, addressed that in the draft. They should be better. Their defense is good, but some people are saying, well, Kelsey's not getting any younger. No, he's not, but he's not old either. So let's put that talk away for 2 or 3 more years, and,
Yeah.
they got Hunt and Hill and all those guys. So they got plenty. It was a good win for them. It's good to have a close game and you win at home or win away, and things like that. Not every game's a blowout. Sometimes you just have a good old fashioned football game. And Cleveland is good. Their defense, you got Myles Garrett back there. That should be enough said for their defense.
Right.
So,
it's also hard to believe that Patrick Mahomes, since starting in the NFL, is 11-0 in the month of September so far.
Now that I've seen what kind of pro it is, I don't think it's surprising at all.
No, it's not.
But
just to look at
now that we look back, you go, yeah, he's freaking good and he's super athletic, so he can do a lot more things than another quarterback can do. He's got great arm strength, great vision. He can move, he can run. He used to be a baseball player, so he knows how to throw off angles, little 15-yard passes, something like a shortstop would do, or a second baseman, on a diving play, catch the ball and then throw it, without even getting up. You just get up on one knee. Same thing, as a quarterback. If you can control the ball, and he does because he practiced it, he'll do very well. I guarantee you're going to see more guys throwing like him now soon. Even the Cowboys' third-string quarterback or practice team player, Ben DiNucci, he throws like that now. That's how he does it. He goes sidearm, he goes over the top. It worked in college, hasn't worked in the pros yet, but it's something different to look at. Aaron Rodgers has always done that a little bit. He pulled one of them throws out, but Mahomes does it regularly.
Right.
Good at it. He can even throw left-handed. Come on.
Yeah. Did you see or hear a little bit about the Detroit game?
What happened there?
It was the final score was, it was a close game. Detroit was down most of it.
Oh, they came back.
To 33.
Yeah, they were 24 points down. I thought you were talking some kind of fan invading the field thing.
No, it was mainly the score. It was 41-33. They came back, nearly won the game.
Yeah. Let's see. Jared Goff, 338 yards. They're going to be the same as they've been. They replaced, I think, in that trade. Goff's a really good quarterback. Stafford is a few years older and right on the cusp of being a Hall of Famer. So I think Stafford improved LA better than Goff would improve Detroit. But it doesn't mean Detroit took a step backwards as far as the quarterback situation. Whatever it was, I think the trade is better for LA. Okay. And Stafford, he sees a new team. He's got a new coach, so he'll see more stuff. He's got a younger coach, McVay, and so that might inspire him. He's almost the same age,
I know, it's crazy.
He's like 38 or 39. Stafford's 34. So, but he's at the top of his game. He's healthy, so I think though the Rams will be better with him, and that Detroit's going to be good. They're they're going to win some games. It's just they're Detroit. They're going to be hang around it all year, and if they get in, they'll lose the first round. That's what they've done in the last 15 years.
Right.
And, sadly, that puts a bad look on Stafford, but it's really not 100% him. He's a gamer. We've all seen him play. We've seen him throwing with a separated shoulder and throwing touchdown passes. It's just different. Is it the Detroit's run through the gamut of coaches, so
they have.
And so you got to get a system in there and have the same system and let everybody get used to it. And it takes a few years. It's very rare they come in, all of a sudden in 1 year, and they're great. No, it takes guys are used to doing it one way, and then you get a couple of free agents and you get a coach come in and switch everything all around after they've been doing it one way 1 year and now this way this year. It's hard to be good when you're not consistent. So
that is true.
So let's hope they can, I like to see Detroit good. There's a lot of history there. It's an older franchise, they've had, Barry Sanders, right. And he retired.
Calvin Johnson.
If he had played 2 more years, he'd be the all-time NFL rushing leader, not Emmett, but he retired early. That's what he wanted to do. Maybe his body was just beat up or he's just tired of the going through it. Because when you're 34, 35 and you're a running back, you've been hit a lot. Emmett was, believe me, he didn't make many tackles. He would shift, make them just like Sanders. He could shift and make them not hit him square on, but they'd still hit him,
Right. So is there any other games you want to go over before we get to tonight?
Pittsburgh at Buffalo. I think Roethlisberger's at the end, but he's going to fight like he always has. And so maybe he has another good year in him. He can't get hurt, but he's a stand in the quarterback, take it kind of guy. He's been hit a lot. I heard some people saying that he doesn't have the arm strength he used to, but I saw a couple passes where he zipped it in there. So maybe that's not it. They got to win. Pittsburgh's good. They got a good defense. They just signed JT Watt, their defensive end, big contract, so.
JT Watt's good.
He is good.
Watt's good. Yeah.
And he's got a little better than Tank here on our team on D-Law. D-Law is really good, but he doesn't get the sacks. He doesn't. And he needs to have a 12-sack season. I mean, just divide a contract, dude. You play well, you're all team, you're all heart. Get to that quarterback, Yeah. And I hope he does. Let me see who else. Seattle took care of Indianapolis. Just being efficient. And let me see. Carolina barely beat the Jets, 1914, even though Zach Wilson had a pretty good game. Two number 1 Jet picks against each other. Sam Darnold had 279. So
you think it was beneficial for Darnold to go to Carolina?
It couldn't hurt him. They're a bad team. They've got a new coach. Doesn't have the New York pressure around him. I think the one good game he ever had in New York was unfortunately against the Cowboys, and he looked really good. The ball was zipping. It was right there. He was making plays. It's only one game out of 2 years, and I'm sure he had 1 or 2 other games that were good, but mostly my Jets friends, they're like, he just sucks. But they were also complaining about the Jets coach sucks. So maybe they weren't using him right, or they could I don't know. He was a number 1 pick, so he's going to get a million chances. Okay. Carolina is another team. They're at the bottom. They can only go up. They do have Christian McCaffrey. So, and he did get like 98 yards yesterday. So he did well for them.
Hmm.
Let's see who else is. We haven't talked San Francisco and then Cincinnati. We covered most of the teams.
Yeah.
Tonight's game, Baltimore at the Raiders.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game.
It should
I
be.
think.
Baltimore is down to their 23rd running back, I think.
Yeah.
There was a kid pushing a dump truck down the street, and they signed him, so he's got to be the running back.
Well, and then they also signed the Water Boy and
Yeah, and
whoever else.
right, they're good everywhere else. There was. We'll see how their offense is. I don't think they should keep using Lamar Jackson as a running back, but that's where he's best. He's a pretty good passer, but he's not a great passer. He's not a bad passer. He's pretty good.
Right.
I think if you had to put him in as a pocket passer, say he couldn't run or something, if you had a leg injury, I don't know how good he'd be. He wouldn't suck. He is very athletic and very good, but he's not a Brady or a Mahomes or Prescott, like that. But they use him as a runner. He's an awesome weapon. He's going to be, and Baltimore's defense is very good. The Raiders they're still looking. They're still looking. They're not going to be bad, They have Derek Carr is a great quarterback, and
He is.
They could win 10 games. It's just they could fight for the wild card. They're not going to be bad, and they're opening their brand new stadium tonight, their shiny new toy. So
Yeah.
I'm sure they'd like to take it for a drive up and down the strip.
Right. Yeah.
Run over.
So who do you have winning?
I think Baltimore will, but it'll be a close game, I think.
I think so.
I think the Raiders are in their new stadium. They should be pumped up. Fans should help that, get emotional and be loud, at least in the first half. I don't think Baltimore will bull rush them or anything like that. It should be 21-17 game, maybe,
Right.
something like that.
I think so.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to cover, or?
It's just that a lot of teams are going with these COVID protocols now. Zach Martin for the Cowboys missed a game because the guys got to be careful where they go. It could be. Yeah, I'm sure they're not. The vast majority aren't going out to clubs and stuff and clubbing up, but they're going to get-togethers and stuff. Just be careful about who they invite. Have team members have a barbecue and stuff like that, and sadly keep the others out, get families involved. They're all in the same little circle. Just keep watching out for people outside of your little circle. That's what I would say. Be safe, get the vaccine, mask up, do all those things, and everything. So, and no comments about that. This is not a political issue here. We're just talking.
Just stay safe,
Yep. If you don't want to do it, stay home, and then do your work stuff, and then you'll be safe too. So for sure. Okay. Yep. We got next week coming up. We'll be rolling into it.
That's right.
Who's the Thursday night game?
Giants in Washington.
Ooh.
Who do you think is going to win that one?
Yeah, Washington.
Yeah, I think so.
It'll be a low-scoring affair because the Giants. Now I think they'll have Barkley back at full 100% plays and stuff. Daniel Jones wasn't bad the other day.
No.
He could be the Giants quarterback of the future. Who's Washington going with?
Heineke, I think it is.
That's right, Heineke. He was a good backup for a few
I
years.
like him.
So, let's he's a veteran. So, and Fitzpatrick was a veteran. He does the same kind of thing. Fitzpatrick's always had the ability to step in and be red hot for a few games. That's been his whole career. He's like 37 now. He's played in the NFL a dozen years, whatnot. He's had great games. It's just that when he's been handed the starting job, he'll start out great and then fade. But then when you ask him to come in and relieve, he's a superstar again. It's the beard. He throws it out of the beard.
Yeah.
He's a guy. I keep hearing people. I can't speak. I keep hearing people say, "Why doesn't the Cowboys go and get Cam Newton at the number 2? 1, he's done. 2, he's done.
Yeah.
3, we don't need him.
Done. We don't.
He's done." And he was talking about that on various sports outlets this weekend. He thinks he's got something. He knows what he is. He did say, if he comes into camp as a backup, he knows he'll be a distraction because he's Cam Newton. He's like, I'm just me. So he admits it. He's not being cocky or anything like that. So I kind of respect that he said that. I don't want him to come into Dallas, be the number 2. Nobody's going to say he should start in front of Dak except the Cowboy haters.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's good enough. He can't throw. He has no arm strength. No. If you want him to come in for one drive, maybe, but I don't think he's a guy that's going to come in and take over a game for half the game if your quarterback goes out. I'm sorry, and it's not him. The Cowboys did pick up Will Greer off of Carolina.
I don't know if he's good, but
he's played a few years. He went to West Virginia. He was a great college quarterback, and he's been okay when he's played. A younger guy though, so I don't mind that. I kind of wish the Cowboys had maybe went ahead and gotten Ryan Fitzpatrick. That would have been awesome.
That would have been fun, yeah.
I've not been impressed. I don't know what to think of Cooper Rush and Danucci. They did sign him to the practice squad, so they think they've got something in him. But maybe if they can keep him on for a few years and he develops a little more. I mean, he's a pretty fast runner. He can evade the rush, and he's got a quirky throw. So who knows? Romo threw them passes too, but he also had a gun, where he needed to throw it 70 yards, 65 yards, he could do it and stuff. So that being said, though, I hope the Cowboys win this Sunday, and we can look forward for another good weekend of football.
Yeah, before we close out, any last words before we head out?
Nope. Let's just have everybody maintain their COVID protocols, and let's get back to normality.
Yeah, I agree.
Hopefully by this time next year, we're hardly talking about it. So get the season's underway. It seems like normal. Like 2 years.
It feels normal.
Yeah, so we've got the regular stuff, and a lot of good young dudes in the NFL. I'm anxious to see how Mac Jones does up in New England and how Lawrence does in Jacksonville. Andy Dalton in Chicago played okay. But that doesn't mean they're clamoring for, there's probably people up there that want Fields. You know what? Dalton's going to have a couple of good games, and he's going to have a couple of average games. So, but he won't kill you. He won't hurt you. He's good. He's a good quarterback. He is. Not, he's 15 to 20 in the league. He's good, and there. So that I can't think of anything else except happy football. Yay.
Happy football. And we'll be back next week to cover week 2 of the NFL and whatever else happens, and hope you guys enjoyed today's show, and we'll be back next week.
Whoever's watching.
Yeah.
Monday at 4.
Yep. So with that, I'm Crispy Bacon with Coach D, and have a great week.